Afternoon. We will continue reading Jenny Archer, author. This is day 3, starting on chapter number 5. Chapter 2, Jenny wrote, My famous family. She closed her eyes. Her mind could picture her great-great-grandmother. She was mounted on a white horse, waving a rifle at the stagecoach. I come from a long line of famous people, Jenny wrote. My great-great-grandmother was named. She twisted her hair. Buffalo Belle, she thought. Buffalo Belle Archer. She was a notorious stage robber. She and her gang held up stagecoaches from Kansas to Arizona. But one day she was captured. She went to jail. While she was in jail, she took up singing to pass the time. This is great, thought Jenny. She remembered what Grandpa said, his mother being an opera singer. He was only teasing, but it was a great idea. When Buffalo Belle Archer got out of jail, Jenny wrote, she was such a good singer that she became an opera star. Soon she was famous all over the world. She was no longer a gunslinger, but she was a gun singer. Jenny grinned. A little humor was good. Grandpa's Archer's father had been a tailor. Jenny pushed her glasses back on her nose. Being a tailor wasn't at all exciting. Maybe she could make him a sailor. I don't know if you can see, but when she's thinking, it's kind of like in the window there. Buffalo Belle Archer. She was a notorious stage robber. She and her gang held up stagecoaches. Oops, I think I read that page already. I turned the wrong way. Her eyes lit up. She grabbed her pencil. She began to write as fast as she could. My great-grandfather was a sailor. He was the first person to sail around the world in a rowboat. But first he was a pirate. They called him Blackbeard Archer, the devil of the seven seas. My, thought Jenny, I do have a good imagination. She was still writing about Blackbeard Archer when her friend Beth Moore ran into her room. Jenny was so lost in her writing that she hadn't even heard the doorbell ring. Guess what? Beth said. She reached down and scratched Sparkly's ears. We're going to the circus tomorrow. Lucky you, said Jenny. I didn't even know the circus was in town. It's not a famous circus, said Beth. It's called the Amazing Attraction Circus. They're at the Civil Center today and Sunday. Jenny put her pencil down. I wish I could go. Maybe my parents will take me. They don't have to. Beth looked as if she was going to burst with good news. My folks got 4 tickets. We can go with us. Wow! Jenny jumped off of her chair. She hugged Beth and Beth jugged her. Barkley jumped, then wanting to be hugged too. Jenny forgot about her autobiography. She forgot about Blackbeard Archer. She forgot about becoming an author. All she could think about was lion tamers, clowns, and cotton candy. Chapter 6. Mr. and Mrs. Moore had bought front row tickets for the circus. Jenny and Beth could hardly believe they were sitting so close to the performers. Jenny had been to Colum Collins Circus once. It was enormous. There were 3 rings that even seemed to happen at the same time. It was hard to watch 3 acts at once. Jenny thought the smaller circus was much more fun. There were clowns and acrobats and beautiful trick horse riders, but only one act at a time. A lion tamer with a big black mustache and long hair entered the ring. Jenny gasped as the man stepped into the cage with 3 lions inside. He twirled his whip over his head and the lions started trotting around in the circle. The lions roared. They jumped over each other, and then they jumped over the lion tamer. Finally, each of the lions leaped through a flaming hoop. Jenny had to peek between her fingers to watch the last part. She was afraid that one of the lions would get burned. Jenny and Beth thought the clowns were wonderful. One clown ran around with a bucket of water and dumped it on him. Then the wet clown grabbed a bucket and began chasing the first clown. They raced around the ring. They stopped right in front of Jenny and Beth. The second clown raised the bucket. The girls squealed and covered their heads, but instead of water, a shower of confetti hit them. Everybody laughed. One of the clowns reached into his pocket and pulled out a giant lollipop. He bowed deeply and handed it to Jenny. The audience clapped and cheered. The clown patted Jenny and Beth on their heads. Then he picked up the bucket and started running around the other clowns. Jenny stared at the huge lollipop and the confetti all over her skirt. She practically been part of the circus. She had almost been an assistant clown. Isn't it great? Beth said. Jenny leaned over so she could talk to Beth's parents. This is the best circus I've ever seen, she said. I'm going to put it in my autobiography. That's the end for today of day 3 of Jenny Archer, chapters 5 and 6. Please complete your book talk pages 5 and 6 by Monday. I will see you Monday at 9. Have a great weekend, everybody.